So Alex, I want to tell you a story, right? I just went for a quick lunch, right? What was supposed to be a quick lunch. And I think still a lot of restaurants have to get, they have to get fired up again, right? So I ordered the dish, but it took them very long to make, right? So at a certain point, I had to ask, like, hey, could you maybe check on my meal for a little while? And then they said, they were looking at me like, oh, yeah, you ordered something? I was like, yeah, like a long time ago. And then they were like, oh yeah, let's check. And then, and why I'm telling you this story is like, so they checked, and then I could see in the face of the gentleman, I could just see that he forgot, right? Because he started like heavily pointing into his. He was like this face, right? Like this.
Like, oh shit!
Then he started typing in, right? And then, but now comes the most important part, right? And I know cultural thing, I know all your answers, but here's the thing, right? Then he didn't come back and informed me that he simply forgot to put it in, right? So the why I want to tell this story, right? Because that is the whole key of making mistakes, right? You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to forget things. Nobody is going to shoot you. But if you don't take responsibility and accountability for it, then people get upset. Actually, that he forgot my food didn't make me upset. That he didn't come and apologize for it and said, oh, sir, I'm so sorry, I forgot to put it in. Give me just 10 minutes, we'll be ready soon, right? If he would have said that, I would have said, oh, no worries, man, just take your time. It's going to be okay. I'm just happy that you just acknowledged that you forgot. And it's already forgotten. You're a cool dude. But he just tried to hide it. How can you hide it? Yeah, how can you, if somebody asks just for your food, then you run away from it, right? There's such an important lesson there, right? That mistakes are allowed, but it has all to do is how do you step up and fix them, basically.
On that same note, right? I think what's coming to my mind now is, just to talk a little bit about this, right? Is that, I think there's a group of us. There are a couple of groups of people, right? There's one group of people, like ourselves, where we have learned through a lot of mistakes, and then we encourage mistakes, right? And then, but it's also a group, right, that's so critical, right? I'm not defending the guy, right? I'm not defending the guy, but I can imagine also, because I remember being on the receiving end of things like that, right? When you admit your mistakes, and then you know what happens, right? I'm like, I'm sorry, I missed out on that. And then they're gonna flip around and say like, yeah, why do you do that, huh? Why? You stupid or what? And it's so intense, But that's also, that's a funny thing, right? And you know what? I think what matters now is that that we continue to do what we need to do, like what we believe in. And because I truly believe that making mistakes is an important part of life, but I think a lot of people have just yet to really discover that. So yeah, social media is helping. A lot of entrepreneurs who are putting out there, failure, you need to fail to move forward in life, right? And things like that. So yeah, what to do, man, what to do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot we can do. We can learn here, right? There's like these three words that basically together form a sentence, and those three words have saved me probably 80% of all discussions and basically disagreements in the world. It's three words, and I keep using them over and over again, but you have to say it in the right way that it doesn't sound sarcastic, right? Mm-hmm. It's three words, and the three words are, you're right.
Yeah, that's true. Three words.
Try it. Get into a discussion, and you're like, oh, I don't want to have this discussion. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to. Just say this. You know what? You just turn around to the person, you do this. You know what? You're right. End of story.
Yeah, that's true.
Done deal.
That's true. You give them immediate recognition.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. So let's turn from marriage counselors into real estate coaches, right? Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Yeah. So today we're talking about, how to, the topic of the day is, how to start your marketing journey. Marketing essentially is all about, it comes down to people, right?
Yeah.
People in the sense that, you want to be able to reach out to people and, with whatever product or service that you have, right?
Yeah.
And it's exactly that simple line, right? But I think what happens is, there can be, it's so simple that sometimes, it can be perceived very differently,
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
people, okay, sure, everybody then, good people, that's it. Put a product out there, everybody, I've got the formula right,
Yeah.
But I think, as you and I both know, it is not as simple as that, right?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, like, let's say, people, right? Like, yeah, we know that marketing is people, but what about people do we need to be, do we need to know? What about marketing? What is marketing? What is it? What does it mean to market to people?
Yeah. Marketing, altogether is basically, marketing gives you the ability to put yourself in front of the people that are basically are looking at what you have to offer, right? So putting you with marketing, you create the ability to reach out to a certain group of people. And I specifically say group of people because you never want to reach out to everyone. That is the biggest mistake you can make in marketing. But you're reaching out to a certain group of people that give you the opportunity to basically show what you have to offer, right? So eventually, marketing. So coming back to the point, okay, so what is marketing? Marketing is simply a tool, right? Marketing is simply basically the accessibility, the creation of accessibility to the people you want to put yourself in front of. So then we come back to, okay, how much time do I have to spend on marketing? How much marketing do I have to put in there? And I think a lot of people underestimate the amount of effort you have to put into marketing from a preparation side, and then eventually when you execute on it, how easy it gets when you have done that preparation the right way, right? I think too many people go into marketing like, okay, I need to find the right tool, I need to find the right switch, I need to put a budget in here, I have to. Marketing is not about money. Marketing is not about budget altogether, right? Marketing is all about, what do I need to do to put myself in front of the right people? And there's so many ways, right? There's just so many ways that you can put yourself in front of the right people. And I do believe that marketing is highly, highly, highly underestimated. And it is literally, if you go to the result base, right? It's the fuel of your business, right? Marketing is the fuel. If you don't give your car fuel, you will stop. If you don't give marketing to your business, it will stop. Marketing is the investment of eventually being able to start a sales process. Without the marketing, no sales process. No sales process, no money. No money, taco very hungry. That's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, and as people, I think as people look into marketing, I think then it's really about, we get it, right? So like marketing generates leads. The leads specifically is what the fuel, right? Which we need to get a business going. No leads, no money, no nothing, right? Yeah. But now we backtrack it a little bit. So the idea now then is, so how do we get people in? How do we get people to click? How do we draw them in, right?
Yeah.
And I think all that comes down to, again, that really simple line of marketing the people, right? Putting out products and services and trying to attract people. So it's about people, right? So like, who are the right people? Who do we want to attract? And in order to do that, and I think the key question there is, what attracts them?
Yeah.
Right.
What attracts people? Yeah. What gets people to take action? Well, usually what it takes people to take action is feelings. We take We take action because feelings, right? So Alex, when you're sad, what is it that you do?
I go and, man, I had a really inappropriate first thought, but never mind. Yeah, I mean, okay. Anyways, yeah, talk about jokes. Anyway, when I'm feeling sad, well, the first thing I'll do, I mean, obviously, I'll go and do something to make myself feel good, right? And I think one way is to like exercise, for example, right?
Yeah.
Exercise releases endorphins. You do that. Or maybe sometimes, I just take a break, right? Go watch something funny, something like that, These are, that's basically it, right? You replace it with something which gives you a different feeling.
Yeah. So good answer, right? So Alex, when you are happy, what is it that you do?
When I'm happy, I kind of forget everything and then just want to be happy, right?
Yeah.
In an interesting way. Yeah, that's a really good question. What happens what do you do when I'm happy?
Yeah. So you see when you're happy, usually what I see with people is the following, right? When they're happy, they like to share happiness with others, right? So when you're happy, what do? You find your friends, you find your family. You never want to be happy alone. You want to be happy with others, right?
Yeah.
So you share your happiness, right? You call someone, you meet someone, let's say, there's many ways of making people feel happy, but let's say you just won something. You won an award, right? And so what do you do? What's the first thing you do when you win that award? You celebrate that with others, right? You don't celebrate that alone, correct?
No. Yeah.
So happiness is a sharing, basically a sharing feeling, right? But when you're sad, what do? Is you don't like to share sadness, right? Unless you are very close to somebody, you want to have a conversation. But usually we like to replace sadness, right, with something that can hold us together, right? That can hold us strong. That can hold us that can push us back into the neutral zone, or maybe sometimes into the happiness zone, right? So what do? We take action, right? So sadness equals pain, and pain is an extremely important indicator within marketing. And not pain is I kick you against your legs and now you have pain. No, I'm talking about emotional pain. A struggle, a challenge, a feeling of stuckness. Something like that. These are all pains, right? And what do people do when they have pain, when they're sad? They go out and find a solution. And if you look at 90% of all the good marketing, they're all triggered on that pain. Yeah. They're all targeting people that are sad, are struggling, are stuck, are looking for a solution. And that is very highly targeted, right? So when you start marketing, and this session is all about how do you start marketing, the question is what kind of pain, sadness, stuckness, challenge are you trying to resolve?
Yep.
I know that a lot of real estate agents struggle here because they're like, "What, Peter? I'm selling real estate, right? I'm not. I don't sell something to solve a pain. Yes, you are, but you don't understand the deeper need of your customer. So." The question that you have to start asking yourself is, why do people buy property? Or why do people rent property? Yes? Yeah, and then people give me this answer like, because they need a roof on top of their head. Yes, it's true. That is the obvious part, right? But why do people decide to move? Why do people decide to buy? Why do people suddenly wake up one day and say, hey, I need to buy a property right now? And if you really, really go deep, there's always a deeper reason why people buy, why people invest, why people, even with investors, right? Why do people invest in property? Because they want to make money. No, wrong. It's not because they want to make money. By the way, you are not allowed to make money. The reason why investors invest in real estate from an emotional need is not because they want to make money, it's because they want to grow. They want to grow. or they want to contribute, or they want to build status. There's an emotional need there.
Sense of growth, sense of
growth. So you don't market towards the, like, you want to make more money, buy property. No, you build towards the emotional need. What is the inner challenge, right? Investors keep on buying because they want to keep growing. They don't want to feel stuck. They don't want to feel like that this is the end, you know? I used to have an investor back in the Caribbean, right? This guy that kept buying, and I sometimes ask him, why the heck are you keeping buying, man? I mean, you could have retired 15 years ago, right? Why are you, like, it's not about the money anymore. And then he says, you know, I keep buying property because for me, it just keeps me busy. And then I feel that is where my happiness is. You see, no money, nothing is involved. He's keeping buying property because he feels that it gives him a sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all of that, going back to the marketing, I don't want to go all psychological here, but it is very important. Marketing is psychology. Alex, you would agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Marketing is psychology. It is basically sending a signal, a micro signal out there into a market. And then if you hit it the right way in people's brains, people will be attracted to you. And that is how you will get them into your business. That is marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, building on that, like an example of investors, right? You said that for that specific investor of yours, how it was a sense of growth for him, right? And yeah, I can totally see that, right? You know, but you know, I think that's also the something about marketing which we need to understand, right? That no two people are the same, right? And yes, we can target people by way of the similarities that they have, but no two people are ever going to be the same. So what I mean by that also, we look at investors, right? So an investor like that, it's clear that he's got multiple investments. If he's got multiple investments, he's got that cash, he's got that peace of mind, you know, that he's actually kind of got that peace of mind, right? Indirectly.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're looking at, let's say, like a first home or second home investor, right? New investor, that would be a whole different mindset as well, because chances are they're probably just getting into investments. And they're thinking, oh yeah, I don't have enough money. I need to make my money grow, you know. But yes, there is some growth, but there's also a very big part of it, which would be, you know, that peace of mind, which they have yet to achieve yet, you know, in terms of financially, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, and so that, I mean, that's a little like example of, you know, how one target market can be broken down into different categories, right? Different subcategories. Yes. And I think a really big thing, right?
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. And then I think, you know, and you, as you were sharing as well, you know, and I'm really glad you keep reminding me about this too, you know, even when we run on business, right? Is that whole difference between features and benefits, right? I think there's so many people out there, you know, even including myself, you know, we tend to focus so much on features, right? You know, but not enough on benefits, right?
Yeah.
And benefits is where the feelings are at, basically.
Correct.
Yeah. Features are the hard facts, what you have to offer, what your product is all about, the specifics of it. But it's really got to do with the feelings that you'll give to people, right? And the thing is, a lot of people are looking for different feelings. And yeah. I got a question, huh? You got something?
No, I wanted to say that is so true, because that it, like, if you, like, let's keep it to real estate, right? When you give a viewing to people, and we use this a lot of times in our trainings, and some people laugh about it, but we are actually always very serious about this. We say, you know, when you show somebody a house from the inside and you point out, like, this is a kitchen, right? No, this is not a kitchen. This is where people will cook meals. That is a difference, right? It's not a kitchen. A kitchen is a feature, right? But it's about what the kitchen represents. The kitchen represents a meal, food. What does food represent? Happiness, sense of family, sense of connection, sense of, you know, of security. You know, these are all emotion feeds, extremely important within marketing and sales, right? So the best marketers in the world, they focus not on the feature, they focus on the benefit. What do you benefit once you reach to that point? What is it that people will feel? And marketing is not a little bit, it's only about feelings. what feeling are you creating with your marketing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I always say, if through your marketing people can see the light, people will have no doubt in working with you forever. If you can give people the or the or the, you know, like this is what I always have been looking for, right? That is where marketing meets the right audience, right? The message was synced with the right person. That is how marketing fits the best way, right? So yeah, I always go, if I look at advertising, or if I look at, you know, a lot of stuff out there, I'm looking and I'm like, what are you trying to say here, right? What point are you trying to make? First of all, I see a lot of marketing. There's a lot of bragging, right? And people think that is a good thing. You know, let me just brag about myself, and then I will attract a lot of people. That is really sending the wrong message, because what feeling are you giving to people? Like what you know, what does this person want, right? And the worst part of marketing is, let me show you what I have. Yeah. You know, this is what I have. Do you want it? So it's not a coincidence that people call it sales and marketing. If it was the same thing, then there would be one word for it. Then it was called sales marketing. I don't know. I'm just making that up right now.
Yeah,
but it's called sales marketing. Sell marketing, I don't know, whatever. But it's called sales and marketing. What means it's one and two different worlds. It's two different areas. They do both different things. But what I see a lot is that people use marketing to sell. And that's where things really go wrong. Because your job with marketing is not to sell. Your job is to sell when it's time to sell. Marketing doesn't sell. Marketing puts you in front of the right people that are willing to listen in what you have to offer.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So Taga, what kind of mistakes do you think people make most when they first start marketing?
Okay, so that's a very good question, and also a very important question to ask, because I think, like I said, I think that people do not understand the concept, the definition, and the meaning of marketing. So that's where you already go to mistake number one, right? We do marketing because we either are asked to do marketing, or we are, you know, we just know it's part of our business. So yeah, everybody does marketing, so I also have to do marketing. But the key to marketing is really first to understand it, right? That, like, why do we need it, right? And what is the ideal outcome with my marketing strategy? I trust me, you will not waste any dollars or ringgits in this case on marketing if you understand the meaning of it. You know, a lot of people use marketing, and sometimes they also get it mixed up, right? Like, marketing is not equal to lead generation. Lead generation is a part of your marketing, right? But marketing also represents branding. It represents audience building, data, you know, all those kinds of things. But the first mistake is what I think when people start marketing is that they have 0.0000 knowledge or understanding of what marketing really is. So if you want to go deep into marketing and not waste a lot of money, my first suggestion is just take a little bit of education first, right? Go to a marketing course, read a marketing book, you know, go online on YouTube and spend at least, I'm not joking, spend at least 20 hours watching videos about marketing. Take all those notes, write them down. Once you get through that cycle, now you start to understand a little bit more about the concept of marketing. Then the second mistake, what a lot of people make in marketing when they get started, and that is and you and I, Alex, we talk about that a lot, is basically they say, let's do marketing and let's just target everyone.
Yeah.
everyone can become my customer. Everybody needs a house, right? So everybody can come to me.
Yeah.
But especially real estate is so wide. It's such a wide level of industry. There's so many little niches in real estate, right? And I'm not even talking about residential, right? There's geographical niches. There is property type niches. There is like specific buyers and sellers niches, right? So the first thing that you need to identify before you spend any dollar, create any ad, or engage in any tool, and this is where I personally made most of my mistakes as a real estate agent from a marketing side, is that I was never clear of who am I really trying to reach out to. What is my ideal customer? What is my ideal client? Once that becomes clear who your ideal client is, then suddenly it becomes also clear how you want to direct your marketing to that person, to that ideal customer, to that audience that you're trying to build there. Now, this is a tedious and like I said, it's all about preparation, right? This takes time. But once you get it right, your return is magnifico, brilliant, beautiful.
Al dente.
Al dente. Perfecto.
Perfecto. Yeah.
So it is, I know that some people, maybe Malaysia, all over the world, some people cannot tahan the idea of, they have to do all this work, right? They're like, no, I want to have fast. I want to have quick. I want to have the switch. I'm going to go on Facebook advertising, lead generation, right? But again, you're going to waste so much money. You're going to waste so much time, and you're not going to get the results. And the only thing you're going to tell yourself is, oh, this doesn't work. The real estate is bad. Maybe I should change career and things like that. But actually what was going on all the way, that you didn't put in the right time, you didn't put in some preparation to basically really understand how does marketing work, who's my ideal customer, and then put all that work together to basically prepare your marketing strategy.
When you were talking, right, I initially had one answer, right? One big answer. I would say, I think that there are many mistakes, right? But I think one really stood out to me. But then another one came about as well, when you were talking, right? And I think one big mistake that people really make, when they do marketing, right, is I think a lot of people perceive marketing as like a one-hit wonder. What I mean by that is like they do it once and they expect to get results straight away, right? And without realizing that it's actually like a process, right? You need to continuously fine tune and do it. And it's much deeper than what it is, right? You need to understand your target audience, like we talk about so much, right? We talked about on Wednesday, we talk about in our trainings. You need to do that. You need to fine tune it so you can find the right people, because there's so many types of people out there, right? And you need to be able to know that. Yeah. And I think the interesting. Okay, wait. Before I come to the second one, okay, wait. I'll quickly say the second one. Then we go to Yi Xiong's question, right? I like that a lot. So the second mistake I think people make is that when it comes to marketing is this. I think this is a big one for me personally, is assuming that everybody is like you, right? Assuming people are the way you think they are, right? I think an even bigger mistake to that is not being open to the concept that people are just different from you, right? The people that you're trying to target are different from you, right? So, and I think that's a very big thing that I think people need to understand when they start marketing, because, when we market our products, right, technically, what we think is a reflection of our own beliefs, right? Our own pain, right? Like, I think this product is good for you because of da 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 da. But most often, a lot of people, when they list all these like features and benefits, it's meant to help them, right? What they think they need, right? But not so much what people think need.
Yeah.
So it takes a bit of thinking. You need to break it down, and you need to do surveys, right? You need to go and talk to people to really understand, like what they really need, right? True. And then match it with what you think they need, right? Yeah. If it's a match, good. right?
Yeah.
Chances are you probably belong in the same group. You understand. You really understand your own kind, right?
Yeah.
But if there's a disconnect, it just means that, yeah, okay, then you don't quite understand. But there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to go and get more information and do what you need to do, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
So
point.
yeah, and good recommendations on how we can get the data in first to identify right targeted clients for a specific project. For example, Miller's Square.
Yeah.
Miller's Square. That's definitely an excellent project.
Marketing is testing, right? Marketing is all about testing. You want to collect data based on, what you put out there. So a lot of things that I see happening is that people put a lot of effort into, design and putting the right words and things like that, right? But, you will be surprised, and Alex said it just the right way, right? This is only for marketing, right? I'm not talking about other departments or in your personal life, but in marketing, there's a rule, right? The moment that you say, I think, you're probably wrong. Because, in marketing, it's very hard to really identify what makes people tick, what makes people move or take action. And that can sometimes be very minor things. That can be simply a change of words, a change of color, a change of design, or things like that, right? But what I usually see also a lot is that how we get our audience wrong, right? How we try to target a certain group, and then we figure out, oh, there was actually this whole other group that was way more engaged what we were offering them, right? So coming back to your question, Yusung, is that the best way to get data to identify the right target market is basically testing. You have to test multiple markets at the same time with a similar way of advertising. And then you collect data, you see what is the response like from these multiple data points, right? So it's very simple, right? And you don't need high budgets for that. You actually can use very small budgets for that. I'll give you a small example, right? Let's say you would go into Facebook marketing and Facebook advertising, right? What Alex and I do, once we set up an ad, then we create the ad, we design the ad, but before we put our hard marketing dollars in it, we select about 10 different target markets, right? We are like, okay, so we're going to select this target market, this one, this one, this one, this one. These are all different from each other, right? These are all different areas. And then we run the ads for a couple of days, usually 2-3 days, right? So we get a good amount of data. And after 3 days, it's very simple. The big question is, which 1 or 2 markets out of these 10 gave us the best response? And there's always 1 or 2 winners. You will be surprised. So those 1 or 2 winners, what do? We take those 2, we remove the other 8, and those 2 we use as our number 1 key target markets to basically start scaling our marketing budgets. Because now we tested it, we saw good engagement, so now we can start scaling the budget. We can work, now you can also start, testing a little bit more on the ads, you can test a little bit more on the words and the design and things like that. But the first thing that you want to test is, like you said, Yusung, is the target market, right? Is my message resonating with a certain group of people? And you'll be surprised how many times you get this wrong. I get this wrong all the time. I get this wrong literally all the time. But how do I get it right? Is by testing it, see where do I get the best response, and then I scale on that specific market. So it is a very good question, and the answer is very simple. Test it, get the results, read the data, and use that one to scale your budget.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Really got to do with all that, basically the testing, right? And to add on to that also, I think with, that's actually a great thing about real estate, right? Because real estate, it's literally brick and mortar, right? So, if you look at what you're selling, I just had a quick look at Miller's Square, right? Like you gave that example. I see a lot of 3-bedroom, 2-bath kind of, apartments, condos, right?
Yeah.
And it's quite straightforward, right? Like what kind of people do you think would enjoy or would appreciate, would want, would need such a layout? right? Because it's 3 bedroom, two baths, right? I mean, do you think a family of what? Let's say 5, 6 people. Do you think they want to live in there? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe, right? Do you think a single person might want to live in there?
Maybe
Slim,
not.
slim, right? Maybe there might be some that's slim, right?
Yeah.
But 3 bedroom, 2 apartments, maybe young family, maybe 2 young kids, young working parents and 2 young kids. Yeah, that might be quite suitable, right?
Yeah.
So it's I think the way even like the way I look at marketing is also in terms of probability, right? You want to increase your probabilities of reaching out to the right people, to the people whom are most likely to appreciate what you have. Right? Yeah. And a quick look also, like looking at the facilities and things like that. It's clearly for younger families, right? But of course, the thing about younger families is this, right? So what younger families is one thing. The other thing, the next point I'm going to make is that real estate is very much location based, right? People think about this. Like Yisiang, let me ask you, right? Where you live right now, right? Let's say you live in Klang. If I ask you to move all the way to Gombak, would you move? Like Gombak is north of KL. Klang is south, north south, but I know it's in the opposite direction, right? Unless you have a very specific reason, like a very, very specific reason, like maybe work is there, your family is there, maybe you do that. But chances are most people like to stay within the areas that they're already in.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because that's what it is, right? That's human nature.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
And yeah, so then that's also about real estate. Something to think about, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay, but in closing today, right, like how to start your marketing journey, I think, if we summarize it, it's really got to come down to understanding people, your target market. Start with that, because once you're clear on that, once you know their pain, what they want to gain, and their pain and gain, not what you think they need, and not what you think their pain and gain is, what their pain and gain is, then I think, there it is, your marketing. You've done a majority of the work already, right? That's the tedious part, and that needs fine tuning. And there it is, right? That's how you're gonna start your marketing. People, it's people. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this session where Taco and I just like to just talk and talk and talk. Hopefully you get value.
Talk.
So in the meantime, have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. We will see you, all of you, very, very soon. Peace out.
Okay, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.